गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषद अध्याय 5 मंत्र 1। Let us read the mantra. द्वे अक्षरे ब्रह्म परे त्वनन्ते विद्या विद्ये निहिते यत्र गूढे क्षरं त्वविद्या ह्यमृतं तु विद्या विद्या विद्ये ईशते यस्तु सोऽन्यः। The mantra is describing the similarity as well as the difference between vidya and avidya. Both vidya and avidya are similar in some respect. Meanwhile, there is a great difference between them. Let us understand avidya first. What is avidya? Generally, we translate avidya as ignorance. Avidya means ignorance. What is ignorance? If you look into the dictionary, it will be written lack of knowledge. That is what you will find in the dictionary. Lack of knowledge. Absence of knowledge. That is a general understanding of ignorance. But when we come to Vedanta, we have a different perspective of ignorance. Ignorance does not mean absence of knowledge. Avidya does not mean absence of knowledge. Instead, Avidya is a positive entity which hides an object, veils an object. That is why the Vedantis define ignorance anadi bhavarupatve sati jnananashyatvam avidyatvam. Avidya is anadi. It is one characteristic of avidya. It is anadi. It has no beginning. When did ignorance begin? No answer. It is anadi. Avidya is anadi. This explains many things, many objections, many questions are explained with this statement. Many people ask a question, why we have become samsaris? If we are Brahman, then why we have become samsaris? The question why has no answer, because avidya is anadi. If something is anadi, if something is beginningless, you cannot ask why it is there. The question why is possible only if something has a beginning. Avidya is anadi. This is a very important conclusion of Vedanta. And avidya is bhava rupa. It is a positive entity. It is not an absence. What I mean by positive entity is, it is not an absence. It is a presence, bhavarupa. There is a thing called avidya. It is not just an absence of knowledge. When it is bhavarupa, a question arises. Does it exist independently, or is it present dependent on something else? Then we say, avidya cannot be independent. Ignorance cannot be independent, because the ignorance belongs to somebody. I am ignorant. When we talk about ignorance, we have to mention two things. One is called ashaya. Ashaya means locus. To who does the ignorance belong? It is called ashraya. For example, there is ignorance of a particular subject. Let us say ignorance of mathematics. Who has the ignorance of mathematics? Everybody may not have ignorance of mathematics. Who is ignorant of mathematics? Somebody is. You have to mention the person. He is called ashraya. Avidyayaha ashrayaha. The locus of avidya. In who the avidya resides. And the avidya has a vishaya. The object of avidya. Ignorance of what? Ignorance belonging to who is the ashraya. Ignorance of what? Is it ignorance of mathematics, or is it ignorance of any language, Tamil, ignorance of Telugu, ignorance of Kannada? It is the vishaya of ignorance. Avidya vishaya. So, avidya has ashraya and avidya has a vishaya. Without these two, we cannot talk about avidya. You have to mention the ashraya and vishaya. The ignorance that we talk in the world, any general ignorance, the ashraya is different from the vishaya. For example, I don't know German. I don't know German. Who is the ashraya of avidya? German ignorance. The ignorance of German. German avidya. Who is the ashraya? I am the ashraya. What is the vishaya? Vishaya is German. Ashraya and vishaya are different in this case. But as far as the avidya of Brahman is concerned, the ignorance of Brahman is concerned, ashraya as well as vishaya are one and the same. That is why Sankshepa Sharirakam. There is a work called Sankshepa Sharirakam by Sarvajñatma Muni. There was a great Acharya called Sarvajñatma Muni. According to some historians, he was a disciple of Sureshwaracharya, who was the first Acharya in Sringeri. And he went and established the Matha in Kanchi, the first Acharya of Kanchi Math. This is a story I heard Sarvajñatma Muni wrote a work called Sankshepa Sharirakam. There he makes this statement: Ashayatva Vishayatva Bhagini Nirvibhaga Chitireva Kevala. Ashayatva Vishayatva Bhagini. What is the Ashaya as well as Vishaya of the avidya? It is nothing but the Chaitanya, the consciousness. The same consciousness is the Ashaya of the avidya, and the same consciousness is the Vishaya of the avidya. Because we talk about Atma Jnana. What is the Ashaya of Atma Jnana? We are the Ashaya. It is, we are ignorant. That means the Ashaya is Atma. What is the Vishaya of the avidya? Atma avidya. What are we ignorant of? We are ignorant of ourselves. Therefore, even the Vishaya of the avidya is the Atma. As far as Atma avidya is concerned, Ashaya and Vishaya are same. So, avidya is a bhava rupa. It is a positive entity. Meanwhile, it is not independent. That means it has an ashaya. It is dependent on something for its existence. That is why it is not independent. Now, one more feature of avidya is that it is jnana nashya. It is destroyed by jnana. Vidya. Jnana is vidya. Avidya is destroyed by vidya. Just like the darkness is destroyed by light. It is destroyed by vidya. In fact, that is why it is called avidya. It is called avidya because it is destroyed by vidya. Not because it is the absence of vidya. Avidya is called so not because it is the absence of vidya, but because it is destroyed by vidya. There is a lot of difference in these two. For a common person, it appears same, but in philosophy, it makes a lot of difference. One is, it is the absence of vidya. If it is the absence of vidya, then it would not have had the ability to hide something. It is able to hide because it is a presence. It is a positive entity. Therefore, you cannot call it absence of jnana. You cannot call it absence of vidya. Then why do we call it avidya? Because it is destroyed by vidya. Since it is destroyed by vidya, it is vidya virodhi. Avidya is vidya virodhi. That is why the a in avidya stands for virodha. The negation, nany, na. Na has 6 meanings in Sanskrit. There are 6 meanings of na. Nany. I am not getting into all the 6 meanings now. I think I have told this in some other advanced classes, all the 6 meanings. Let us take only 2 meanings to simplify. One meaning is abhava, absence. Abhavarthe nanya. Another meaning is virodha, virodharthe nanya. In the case of avidya, the nanya is not in the sense of abhava. It is not abhavarthe nanya. Instead, it is virodharthe nanya. In the sense of virodha, in the sense of opposite, there is a nanya. The nanya becomes avidya. The a is added. A is originally nanya. That is why avidya is a positive entity which is anadi, which is beginningless, and it is destroyed by jnana. Anadibhava rupatve sati jnana nashyatvam avidyatvam. This avidya is responsible for samsara. Samsara is avidya karya. It is the cause of samsara. Now one may ask a question. How avidya causes samsara? Then we say the avidya has 2 shaktis. It has 2 shaktis, 2 powers. One is called avarana shakti. Another is called vikshepa shakti. This is one prakriya. This is a methodology of explaining certain phenomena. There is another way of explaining also. That we will see some other time. So, one is avarana shakti. Avarana shakti means the ability to hide. The power of hiding is avarana shakti. The avidya hides its vishaya. Avidya hides its object. In this case, the object is Brahman, Atma. The avidya hides the Atma. The avidya hides the Brahman. That is why we don't know our Atma. We don't know our own true self. Why? It is hidden by avidya. That is why we don't know who we really are. That is the work of avarana shakti. And then there is vikshepa shakti. The vikshepa shakti makes us mistake ourselves as something else. On account of vikshepa shakti, we identify as something different from our true nature. As the Vedanta reveals, the Atma is infinite. Atma is Ananta. Our true nature is infinite. But the Vikshepa Shakti makes us identify as finite, confined to threefold limitations. Desha Paricheda. On account of Vikshepa Shakti, we get Desha Paricheda. We are confined to this particular place and this particular time. Kala Paricheda. I am present only in one place, not in other place. It is Desha Paricheda. I am present only here, in a particular locality of Bangalore, not elsewhere. We all have address. What is your address? What is address? Desha Paricheda. I am only here. Some people try to get rid of Desha Paricheda by having more than one address. They will have another house, one house in Bangalore, another house in Bombay. Desha Paricheda is not gone by having two houses. Then they will have another house in Washington. Still more they try to get rid of Desha Paricheda. Still it does not go away. At the maximum you can have 10 houses in this planet Earth. Then what about other planets? That is why some people have already booked places in moon also. The real estate business has started in moon already. So, despite having 10 addresses, Desha Paricheda does not go away. Then there is Kala Paricheda, limitation in terms of time. We exist only between 2 points of time. There is a date of birth and a date of death, manufacturing date and expiry date. Not beyond that. What is it? Kala Paricheda. Then Vastu Paricheda. We are confined being a given individual. That is Vastu Paricheda. Every object is confined being a given object. It is not many other objects. That is Vastu Paricheda. A table is confined being a table. A table is not a chair. Table is not a book. Just a table. Perhaps initially it was happy. I became a table. Earlier it was just wood. Just a log of wood. Then they made it a table by chipping it off and by putting nails and everything, they made it a table. Then initially it became happy. Oh, now I have become a table. For a while it is happy. I became table. But after some time it is fed up of being a table. I am just a table. I am not a chair. I am not the sofa. I am not the house. I am not the fan. I am not the fridge. What is it? Vastu Paricheda. In fact, entire problem of samsara can be explained with Vastu Paricheda. We are confined being a given individual, a given name and form. That is what causes all our complexes. Superiority complex, inferiority complex, and many other complexes are told in psychology. So many complexes are discussed. What is the root of all these complex? Vastu Paricheda. We are being confined to a given individual. This is caused by the Vikshepa Shakti. So, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti, they work in tandem to cause the problem of samsara. That is why the Upanishad says, Avidya is the samsara hetu, ksharam hyavidya. It is there. When this is avidya, what is the way to get rid of samsara? It does not require much explanation. We can easily understand that it is vidya. Vidya means jnana. Vidya is Strilinga. Jnana is Napumsakalinga. Meanings are same. Jnana, as I said, there is a similarity between the two. Just like avidya, even vidya requires an ashraya and a vishaya. Even jnana, we talk about ashraya. What is the ashraya of jnana? It is talked about. If I have jnana, I am the ashraya of the jnana. What is the vishaya of jnana? Any knowledge. We talk about a vishaya, the object. If I am talking about ghata jnana, knowledge of the pot, pot is the object, ghata is a vishaya. So jnana also has ashraya and vishaya. And just like ajnana, even jnana is dependent on Brahman. Even jnana is dependent on the Atma. Because jnana cannot exist without the support of the Atma. That is why the Upanishad says, Akshare Anante Brahma Pare. Both Vidya and Avidya, both Jnana and Ajnana are dependent on the Brahman, the Atma, which is Akshara. Atma is called Akshara. Naksharati iti Aksharam. It is not subject to destruction, not subject to modification. Therefore, it is called Akshara. The word Akshara is used in Upanishad as well as Bhagavad Gita to refer to the Brahman. Mundakopanishad also uses the word Aksharam. Atha parayaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Om ityeka aksharam Brahma. The word Aksharam is used for Brahman in many places in the Upanishad itself. Akshare, Brahma Pare, the Parabrahma. Akshara is the Parabrahma. Brahman, which is Para. Para means supreme. The supreme Brahman. Anante, it is Ananta, free from limitations. Vidya Vidye Dve Nihite. Both Vidya and Avidya are dependent on the Brahman. Even avidya is dependent on Brahman, and so is vidya. Without Brahman, there cannot be avidya as well as vidya. Yatra te gudhe, both of them are gudha. They are hidden. Avidya is gudha. Why avidya is called gudha? Because people are not aware of the avidya. Even though avidya is very much there, people in general are not aware of the presence of avidya. They may be aware of the avidya of various other objects. But as far as the Brahma avidya is concerned, or the Atma avidya is concerned, people are not aware. I have that ignorance. People are not aware. If we have to remove the ignorance, first of all, one should understand there is ignorance. Only if I know I don't know something, I will make effort to get rid of the ignorance. If I think I know, then I will not make an effort to get rid of the ignorance. I do not have such ignorance. If that is my thinking, there will not be effort to get rid of the ignorance. That is why majority of the people in the world are blissfully ignorant. They are blissfully ignorant. That is why even if we give Vedanta free of cost, hardly anybody is interested. So, avidya is gudha. Even avidya is hiding. People are not aware of the presence of avidya. Likewise, people are not aware of the presence of vidya also. Brahma vidya is possible. Majority of the people are not aware of it. Even the neighboring people will not be aware of it. You ask the nearby house. You don't even have to go to a nearby building. In the same building, upstairs some people are staying. You ask them what is happening here. They don't know. They don't even have the faintest idea of what is being discussed here. That is why even vidya is gudha. Avidya is gudha. Vidya is gudha. That is why to get rid of avidya, As well as to get the vidya, one should have the special grace of Ishvara. Now he describes the distinction between avidya and vidya. What is the difference between avidya and vidya? Ksharam tu avidya, hyamritam tu vidya, avidya tu ksharam. Avidya is a kshara. Kshara means samsara hetu. Samsara karanam ityartha. Ksharana hetuhu samsriti karanam. Avidya is the cause of samsara. Amritantu vidya, whereas vidya is amritam. Amritam means moksha hetu. It is the means for moksha. Through the destruction of avidya, vidya is the way to moksha. Yaha tu vidya vidye ishate saha anyaha. Brahman is the Lord of both vidya and avidya. Lord of both vidya and avidya means as